Hi there. My name is Donna Peterson, and you are listening to the B2B Marketing Excellence Podcast. I'm going to take you on a journey all around the world where we're going to talk with business owners and business leaders about marketing trends and techniques that are going to help you stand out from your competition. So let's roll up our sleeves and let's jump in. We've all seen those brands that just plummet us with messages. They're generic, they instill fear, they give us unrealistic promises and give that big pitch. And for those companies that don't know better, they sign up. But the relationship doesn't go well because the companies can't fulfill the big pitch. And so they part ways. But then on the flip side, we've all gotten those marketing campaigns that you feel as though the company is speaking directly to us. They knew you were having a problem about this one issue, and there it is. Oh! Or they know you want to achieve that one goal and how you're going to be able to get there faster. When you get those messages in, that is when I love B2B marketing. Now, we're a marketing company. The name is World Innovators. Marketing is not in our business name. So I get lots of promotions from companies over and over saying that they're a marketing agency and they can help me do this, this, and this. Well, if they did their research, they would find out we're a marketing company and we're pretty good at what we do. So we don't need their services. So before you do any marketing, you always have to sit back and you have to think about knowing and understanding your audience and how you're going to plan that out. I tell my clients, you got to go back to basics. It's almost like rewinding. Let's rewind to the beginning. Why are you doing what you're doing? What's your purpose? Like a real why, not like, oh, I want to grow sales. Real purpose of why you're doing what you're doing. And then you have to have clarity on what is your mission statement for your company. What is it that you want people to remember about you? Now, World Innovators, we went and reevaluated this ourselves about 2.5, 3 years ago. And our mission statement right now is to inspire, nurture, and educate businesses on building valuable relationships that will stand the test of time. We're not interested in just doing those one-off sales. That's not the kind of company we are. We've been around for 41 years. So we are very into building relationships and holding them for long periods of time. So you got to go back, think about your why and your mission, and then set up some goals for yourself. What are your goals for doing things? Today, I was talking to the person who helps us with the podcast, and she reminded me, Donna, what is your goal for the podcast? And it's so funny, sometimes I'm like the carpenter who doesn't fix her front door. With a marketer, sometimes I don't think about the logical ways of doing marketing for ourselves, but I'm out there talking to our clients about it. And so she reminded me of that. What are your goals for doing this podcast? But for you, if you're sitting down, ready to put together a marketing campaign, what are your goals? And I don't mean getting 100, people to subscribe for a webinar. Go deeper. Like, what are your goals? And the goals should go back to your mission and why you do what you do. Now, a company I think is so good at this is Tony Robbins. He is, I think all of you would probably know, inspirational speaker. He can be called a business coach, a life coach, a consultant, an advisor. But just the way his company promotes their programs. And why I like that is they start with a free program to you. And every program that you do, no matter the value or if it's free, gives you some type of information. It offers you value that you can take home and implement. So they start with the free one. And then they'll maybe start with weekly calls just to keep you engaged with what you learned and to make sure that you start to implement it. And then they follow up with, they upsell you to other programs. But every time they're doing the upsell, they are offering you some type of value that can help you as a company. And so they do a great job. I think you have to think about your objective being not how I can grow my company, but how can I grow your company, meaning your client's business? How can you help them? And we'll go back to it's all about relationships, building relationships. I did a Toastmaster speech the other day, and the title of the speech was Lead with Your Heart. I went on in the speech and I talked about it's not just your personal relationships. Yes, you want to lead with your heart as you talk to your children or your husband, your mother, your father, your friends, but also in business, lead with your heart. Fellow employees, even people, your manager above you or your leaders above you, but also with your marketing messages. The thing we love about B2B marketing are those messages that resonate with us, that answer a concern we have. Well, that's what you need to be sending out. You need to send out those messages to a specific audience that shows that you care about them, but that you understand their circumstances, their industry they're in, and that you truly can offer them value. So at the beginning, when I said, people worry about standing out from their competition, thing is, if you go back to your why and your mission and your goals, no company is the same. Everyone is unique. So you don't need to stand out from your competition. You just need to let those things come out. Make sure people are aware of it, but also show in your messages that you want to lead with your heart. You want to give them a strong foundation. And I believe that, companies now that are saying relationship building, you can't have upper management saying relationship building if they don't incorporate it within. So that means upper management should be creating relationships and know the people that work for them. These people, if they see what upper management is doing towards them, they're going to have a clearer picture of what they need to do for their clients. Just like a parent with a child. A child learns more by example than by telling them what to do. If you don't want your child to be on its cell phone all the time, then make sure you're not on your cell phone all the time. If you want your child to exercise every day, then you have to exercise every day. And that's why companies who are saying relationship building, it's all about the relationship. Well, upper management better make sure they're working on the relationships they have with the people underneath. Because now this is when it's going to go down to the marketing department, and the marketing department's going to be like, now I get it. I get it. I want to build the relationship so that my customers feel like I do, that someone truly cares about what I'm doing and what I'm trying to achieve. And to make yourself unique, you got to understand the why you're doing what you're doing. The company mission should be visible for everyone within your company, along with the goals. And even if possible, set up like a billboard, so that people know where you are in relationship to achieving your goals, so that they know that there's something they're trying to reach. So like I said, the message is, the ones that I love from B2B marketing are those ones that come like this. They instill trust, they create security, and they'll sacrifice almost anything to get the results that they've promised. Now, these things, some people say, well, this is hard to measure, Donna. This won't work because I've got to show that we've got a certain amount of opens and clicks. And I get it. It's hard to measure. But it is one of those things that down the road, you're going to see a difference. It's like an exercise program. You could work out every day, and after you work out, you go look in the mirror and you say, I don't look any different. The scale's saying the same. Why do I bother? But if you keep it going for 9 months, or hopefully even 6 months, you start to see a difference, and that's what keeps you going. One time I went into a client's office and they had the big whiteboard up here, and they said, okay, Donna, we sent out this many emails and we only got this many leads. And I said to them, well, what about the branding? And they said, we don't care about the branding. And I said, what do you mean you don't care about the branding? Branding is what is going to keep you going year after year. The lead is only one time here. You get them, yes, hopefully they make a sale, but if you don't nurture that lead, or if that lead or new customer doesn't see you out in the marketplace, they're going to leave as fast as they came. And so you've got to build these relationships, not only with prospects, but you have to also continue to build the relationships with the customers you have. You have to show them the love. And the best way to do that is by giving them the information they need. Don't be hitting them with sales or upselling. Like back to my Tony Robbins example, if they came in and says, oh, you took this class, we think you'd be interested in that. It's another, $500. That's it. I'd be gone. But because they offer value each time with a new course that goes a little bit deeper, I think about it. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. But they offer value. And because every company out there is unique, because of their why, their mission, and their goal, you can offer value that is unique for your specific audience. Now, what I'm asking you to do, one, it's very hard, it's time consuming, and you have to be courageous. Well, I did a social post on this once, and I used Mel Gibson from Braveheart, where you had a line down here, and I said, are you brave enough to specialize and be unique? That's what you have to do here. You've got to determine inside if you're it's a hard word to say, courageous enough to specialize and be unique. Most people like to stay mainstream. They don't want to go on another road. They want to do the marketing that they've done for years. They like to send out those generic emails with hopes of a response. Or maybe they do institute some of the nurturing they've heard all in the media or different marketing platforms where you can set up a workflow, but then the content that they deliver isn't on point. It's really not about the person or the position that they're in their buying journey. And so it doesn't make sense. Or it's getting directed to the wrong person. Now, my father worked at this company, but he's been gone for 10 years. We still, to this day, get promotions in his name. Now, honestly, people, it's time to fix your marketing. Someone needs to go back, look at their lists, make sure it's cleaned and updated, but understand who you're promoting to. Because if you don't know who you're promoting to, there is no way you're going to be able to send out messages that really resonate with those people. So here are some tips to go forward to make yourself unique so you don't have competition. One is to do those 3 things I mentioned earlier. Really dive deep into why you do what you do. Make sure everyone in your company is clear on what your mission is and that everything that is being done in-house and externally is towards the mission or reflects the mission. And then have your goals that are attainable and that will move your business needle. In order to do those 3 things, or really to obtain the goals, this is where you're going to have to be courageous, like I said, and really know and understand your target audience. Who's going to work with you? And then be willing to say no to the companies that you cannot help. You'll be surprised at the response you get from that. I recently had a client asking me for a list and helping them with their marketing on a campaign. And it was something where they wanted companies in one country, wanted to make sure that they had a satellite office in another country. I said, I can't help you with that. I'm not 100% sure about the data I would get for you. I don't have a history with it. So I'm sorry, I cannot recommend anything for you. Because I said no, they've come back and they said, we really trust you. We want you to help us out to figure out maybe another way we can do this. And even if I don't ever work with this company or get business from the company, they will have had a good, I guess, a relationship with us, how we were willing to help, but how we were willing to say no on things we are not good at. Those companies out there right now, well, especially in the marketing space, but companies out there who say, we can do everything, that's a red flag for me. Really? You can do everything? I don't think so. And then the question is, well, if you can do everything, is it really being done in-house? Or are you outsourcing it someplace else? You've got to be honest with your prospects, your customers. You've got to be honest in what you're promoting to them. You've got to be honest when they come into you on whether you can really help them out with what they're doing or what kind of results they might see. Inflating the results. Yeah, you might get them in the door the first time, but you're not going to keep them. So be honest about what your product or service does. So know and really understand your target audience. Then create messages that really resonate with them and being honest with them about the things you're the expert in and the things maybe you're not, things where maybe they should go to someplace else. And then be consistent. Marketing is all about consistency. And you want to see it out there throughout the year, not just one big push. Here's a similar example, Valentine's Day. My daughter was so upset. Oh my gosh, you and daddy aren't going to be together for Valentine's Day. And I was like, really, it's not a big deal. You know, we've been married 31 years. It's not that big of a deal that Valentine's Day we're not together. But then I explained to her, I said, it's not about that one day a year getting a card or a gift or even just a I love you. It's about the things happened throughout the year, the gestures, the kindness, the cup of tea throughout the year that builds the relationship. It's not that one day. So just like marketing, it's not that one push. It has to be those nice, nurturing messages that give value to the individual, that instills trust, improves security because they have that kind of that safety net. Like they know that working with you they're going to get good guidance, and that's where they're going to land. When we do recommendations for clients, I'll say, okay, when I come in, I will tell you exactly how many records we're going to get for you and what the cost will be, and approximately maybe what the response rates will be. Sometimes I list that, sometimes I don't, because things are changing. It's very volatile right now, but they always know the count and the exact price. And I said, because I understand you have a budget to work with. I'm not going to turn around and say, oh, you know what? It would really end up being $300 more. It's like, oh my gosh, that can blow someone's budget right out of the water. So make sure you're honest. The messaging resonates with your target audience, and that it's consistent messaging that builds one off another. As I mentioned in the beginning, you don't have to worry about standing out from your competition because your company is unique. Lead with your heart. Have your upper management show everyone below that you really care and that you value the relationships you form with them. Then your marketing department will be able to take that into the promotions that they put out into the world. I hope you found this podcast helpful. If you have any questions, or if there's a topic you specifically want to hear about, please let me know. I think now on the next screen, you will see my email, but please subscribe below to this podcast so you know when the next one comes up. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the B2B Marketing Excellence Podcast. Please hit the subscribe button below so you don't miss our next episode. And in the meantime, if you'd like to talk to me, please feel free to send me an email to dpeterson@worldinnovators.com. Till next time, have a great day.